Good morning, dear children. Let us continue the lesson work, energy, and power. Okay, and last class we were discussing about energy. Okay, and today's class we can see different forms of energy. You know what are the different forms of energy? We have chemical energy, then electrical energy, sound energy, then heat energy, then thermal energy, solar energy. There are a wide variety of forms of energy there. Okay, also we have the mechanical energy. Okay, and in this chapter we will discuss about the mechanical energy. Listen it about the mechanical energy. The energy produced by means of mechanically or mechanical means, that is called actually mechanical energy. And this mechanical energy is of two types: kinetic energy and potential energy. Mechanical energy is of two types: kinetic energy and potential energy. Listen to it. First we can see the kinetic energy. Okay, and we have seen that a moving hammer can drive a nail into a wood. Okay, also when a football player kicks a stationary ball, it starts moving. Listen to it. A moving hammer can drive a nail into the wood. And also when we consider another example, when a football player kicks a stationary ball, it starts moving, isn't it? And it means that a moving object has the capacity to do work as it possesses energy. Listen to it. A moving object can has the capacity to do work. Okay. Here a moving hammer can drive a nail into the wood because it possesses energy. That is why it can drive the nail into the wood. Listen to it. Also, a football player kicks a stationary ball, it starts moving. Listen to it. Suppose when it falls someone's head, it can cause what pain or injury. Listen to it. So, any moving object has the capacity to do work because it possesses energy, isn't it? And the energy possessed by a moving object is actually called kinetic energy. The energy possessed by a moving object is called what? Kinetic energy. So we can define the kinetic energy as the energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion, that is called kinetic energy. What is meant by kinetic energy? The energy possessed by a body or an object by virtue of its motion. The energy possessed by a body by virtue of its motion is called what? Kinetic energy. Listen it. Next, we can derive an expression for kinetic energy. We can derive an expression for kinetic energy. Okay. Expression for kinetic energy. Okay. For that, we are considering an object of mass m. Okay. Here we are assuming that that object is initially at a rest. So its initial velocity u equal to 0. Okay. Consider an object of mass m which is initially at a rest. So its initial velocity u equal to 0. Then we apply a force F. Okay. Then after traveling a distance s, its velocity changes to v. Okay. When we apply force F to that object, it moves to a distance s and its velocity changes to v. So that an acceleration a is produced on that object. Due to change in velocity, an acceleration A is produced in that object. Listen to it. Here we are considering an object of mass m which is initially at rest, so its initial velocity is equal to 0. Then we apply a force F, so it moves through a distance s, so that the velocity changes to v. So the acceleration A is produced on that object. Listen to it. Then by Newton's second law, we know the expression for force. What is the expression for force by Newton's second law? F equal to, okay, ma, m into a. Let it equation number 1. This is the expression for force. F equal to ma. Then next we can consider the third equation of motion. What is the third equation of motion, you know? Okay, v square minus u square equal to 2as. V square minus u square equal to 2as, and here u equal to 0 because that object initially at rest. So v square can be written as 2as. From this we can write what s can be written as s equal to v square divided by 2a. Let it equation number 2. Okay. Here initial velocity u equal to 0, so this term becomes 0. Then v square equal to 2as. From this s can be written as v square by 2a. Let it equation number 2. Isn't it? The next, the work done by the force W can be written as, that is, in order to make the object to move, the force has to do some work. That work done can be written as, you know, what is the equation for work done? Work done equal to force into displacement, you know, F into S, equation number 3. Okay, the work done equal to F into S. Then we can substitute from 1 and 2 for F and S. That is, instead of F, we can write M into A into, what is S actually? V square by 2A. Okay, this AA cancels and the remaining is half M B square. Work done, W is equal to half M into B square. Half M into B square. Listen it. And here this is actually the work done by the force to move the object. Okay, and this work done is actually converted into kinetic energy EK. Kinetic energy is actually represented by EK, that is EK equal to half into mv square, and this is the expression for kinetic energy. EK is equal to half mv square. Expression for kinetic energy actually it is half into half mv square. Okay, this is expression for kinetic energy. EK equal to half mv square. That is, kinetic energy depends on mass and velocity. Kinetic energy depends on mass and velocity. That is, kinetic energy is directly proportional to mass and it is also directly proportional to square of velocity. Kinetic energy is directly proportional to mass and also proportional to square of velocity. Listen it. Here by Newton's second law we can write F equal to ma. Let equation number 1. Then by considering the third equation of motion, v square minus u square equal to 2as. In this u is actually 0. So v square equal to 2as. Okay. From this s can be written as v square divided by 2a. Then we know the work done W is equal to F into S. Then substitute for F and S. We can write MA into V square by 2A. Then AA cancels and remaining it is half MV square. So the work done is actually half MV square, and this work done is converted into kinetic energy, that is EK equal to half MV square. That is expression for kinetic energy. EK equal to half MV square. That is, the kinetic energy depends on mass and velocity. That is about kinetic energy and its expression. Next we can see the examples for kinetic energy. You know, a falling coconut possesses kinetic energy. Also a rolling stone, that also possesses kinetic energy. A flying aircraft, that possesses kinetic energy. Then flowing water possesses kinetic energy. Also blowing wind, then running athlete possesses kinetic energy. In short, we can say any moving object possesses kinetic energy. And also we already said a moving object can do work because it possesses energy. Here a moving water can do work because it possesses kinetic energy. It can rotate the turbines of generator. Listen it in hydropower plants. So a flowing water can do work. Also we can say moving wind or moving air can do work. It can also rotate the turbines of windmill. Listen to it. So we can say any moving object can do work because it possesses energy. Listen to it. And these are examples for kinetic energy. And okay. And here we already learned the expression for kinetic energy. EK equal to what? Half mv square. Here we can discuss a special case in related to this expression. And here firstly assuming that here the initial velocity u equal to 0. Okay, and if we assuming it moves with some initial velocity, it moves with some u is its initial velocity. So here we can write, okay, v square minus u square equal to 2as. Okay, here the initial velocity is not 0. In this case, we are considering that it has some initial velocity. Okay, so here it becomes v square minus u square. S can be written as actually v square minus u square divided by 2a. Then we consider the same work done, W equal to F into S. Then instead of F, we can write MA. Then S is actually v square minus u square by 2a. Okay, this AA cancels and the remaining is half m into v square minus u square. Half m into W is equal to half m v square minus u square. This is actually half. This can be written as half mu square minus half mu square. W is equal to, we got half mv square minus half mu square. So actually this is final kinetic energy and this half mu square represents the initial kinetic energy. And so the work done is equal to final kinetic energy minus initial kinetic energy, that is the change in kinetic energy. So we proved that the work done is equal to, we can prove that work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Work done is equal to what? Change in kinetic energy, that is W is equal to half mu square minus half mu square. Work done is equal to, just remember this equation. When we are doing problems, this equation is required. Okay, so you just remember the equation. The work done is equal to change in kinetic energy. Work done is equal to what? Change in kinetic energy, that is W is equal to half mv square minus half mu square. Work done, W is equal to half mv square minus half mu square. Isn't it? So actually that is about the kinetic energy. Okay. And next we can go to potential energy. The second type of mechanical energy is actually potential energy. Potential energy. See, here we can say a stretched spring that possesses potential energy, or a stretched rubber band that also possesses what? Potential energy. And also water stored in the reservoir of a dam that also possesses potential energy. A stone lying in the roof of a building that also possesses potential energy. Okay, then from this how we can say what is potential energy? What is potential energy? Actually, the potential energy is the energy possessed by an object due to its configuration. Configuration or position. Configuration or position. That is actually called the potential energy. Configuration means actually change in shape. Configuration means change in shape. Suppose when we structure a rubber band, its shape changes. Isn't it? So due to its change in shape, it possesses energy. That is actually the potential energy. Also when we stretch a spring, it changes its shape. That is why it is called due to its configuration. The change in shape is actually called configuration. And also water stored in the reservoir of a dam. It has some position, or the stone lying in the roof of a building. Due to that position from the ground, it also possesses energy. That energy is actually potential energy. Isn't it? So the energy possessed by an object due to its configuration or position is called potential energy. The energy possessed by an object due to its configuration or change in shape and position is called potential energy. And so actually we have two types of potential energy. Actually it is elastic potential energy that we will study in +1 class. Okay, elastic potential energy, and next is the gravitational potential energy. Okay, gravitational potential energy, that is the energy possessed by an object due to its configuration, that is actually called elastic potential energy. And the energy possessed by an object due to its position from the ground, that is called gravitational potential energy. Isn't it? So we can have two types of potential energy, elastic potential energy and gravitational potential energy. The energy possessed by an object due to its configuration is called the elastic potential energy, and the energy possessed by an object due to its position from the ground, that is called the gravitational potential energy. Okay, also we can say when we stretch a bow, what will happen? its shape changes. So it possesses a stretched bow that also possesses what potential energy. And when we release the bow, the arrow moves forward. That time with a very high velocity. So in that case, the potential energy is actually converted into kinetic energy. Okay, that is when we stretch a bow, it possesses potential energy, and when we release the bow, what will happen? The arrow moves forward. That time, the potential energy in the bow, that is converted as kinetic energy in the arrow. Listen it, and these are actually the examples for what potential energy. So we can have two types of potential energy: elastic potential energy and gravitational potential energy. Okay. Next, we can see about gravitational potential energy or potential energy at an object at a height. Potential energy of an object at a height. That is actually called the gravitational potential energy. Okay, the potential energy of an object at a height. That is actually called what? Gravitational potential energy. You know, an object increases its energy when raised through a height. Suppose when we raise an object through a certain height, it increases its energy. Actually, this is because the work done on it against gravity, okay, while it is being raised. Okay, that is, in order to raise an object upward, we have to do some work against gravity. Okay, in order to lift an object upward, we have to do some work against the gravity. Actually, the energy present in that object is actually gravitational potential energy. Okay, actually the work done to raise the object against gravity, that is converted in that object as actually gravitational potential energy. Isn't it? So we can define the gravitational potential energy. At any point above the ground level, we can define what gravitational potential energy. Okay, so gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground, the gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground is defined as the work done in raising it through a certain height or to that point against gravity. Listen to it. Gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground. Gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground is defined as the work done in raising it against gravity to that point. Okay, that is actually gravitational potential energy. Gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground is defined as the work done to raise an object to that point against what? Gravity. This is actually gravitational potential energy. Listen to it. Next, we can derive an expression for gravitational potential energy. We can derive an expression for gravitational potential energy. For that, we are considering an object of mass m lying on the ground. Okay. Next, we have to move this object to a certain height h. Okay. We have to move this object to a certain height against the gravity. Listen to it. So, in order to move the object upward, we have to apply a force which is equal to its weight. Okay. That is the minimum force required to lift this object or move this object to a certain height is equal to its weight. Okay. That is the minimum force required to move this object upward, that is equal to its weight of this object. You know the weight, W can be written as what is its weight. What is suppose if an object has mass m, then what is its weight? W is equal to m into g, that thing you know. And this actually this weight is equal to the force. F is equal to what? M into g. Okay, actually this is the force required to lift the object upward. Okay, that is the minimum force required to lift an object upward, that is equal to its weight itself. So we can write this weight is equal to the force mg. Listen to it. The next we can see the work done. How much work is done to move this object upward? You know the expression for work, that is force into displacement. Work is equal to force into displacement. Here the what the force is actually mg. Then the distance through which the object is raised, that is actually h. So w is equal to mgh. This much work is done to move this object through a distance of h, and this work done is converted as potential energy EP, or the gravitational potential energy EP, that is equal to mgh. Okay, and this is the expression for potential energy or the gravitational potential energy. EP is equal to what? mgh. So the potential energy that depends upon the mass, then acceleration due to gravity, and the distance or the height through which that object is raised. Listen to it. So actually, what is gravitational potential energy? The gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground is defined as the work done in raising it through a raising it to a height, or raising it from the from the ground to that point against the gravity. That is actually gravitational potential energy. Okay, next we can derive an expression for gravitational potential energy. For that, we are considering an object of mass m lying on the ground. Next, we have to lift the object through a certain height h. So here we have to apply a force which is equal to its weight. Then only we can lift that object to upward. Okay, so we can write the expression for work done, W is equal to mg, and this work done is equal to the force required to lift the object. So F can be written as mg. Then what is work done? W is equal to F into S. Then substitute for F and S, we can write instead of F it is mg. Then S distance is actually height h, so mgh. This is the work done to move the object through a certain height h, and this work done is stored in that object, or the work done is converted in that object as potential energy or the gravitational potential energy EP, that is equal to mgh. So the gravitational potential energy EP is equal to what? mgh. So the gravitational potential energy that depends upon the mass, acceleration due to gravity, and the height h. Listen to it. And here actually the gravitational potential energy that depends or the work done by the gravity that depends only on the initial and final position. Okay, so we can we can suppose if an object lying on the ground like this, we can move the object like this in this path. Also we can consider another way like this. Also we can consider another way. Okay, in this way also we can move the object upward. Anyway, the work done by the gravity, which depends only on the initial and final positions and does not depends upon the path followed by the object. Okay, the work done by the gravity that does not depends the path followed by the object, and it depends only on the initial and final position. The difference between the initial and final position. If you got it, here the work done by the gravity that depends only on the initial and final positions and does not depends the path followed by the object. Listen to it. That is about what? The potential energy or the gravitational potential energy. Okay, children, then what are the things that we have learned today? First, we learned about two types of mechanical energy, that is kinetic energy and potential energy. Then what is kinetic energy? The energy possessed by an object by virtue of its motion, that is called kinetic energy. You know the expression for kinetic energy, EK, that is equal to half mv square. And also we have proved work done is equal to change in kinetic energy, that is W is equal to half mv square minus half mu square. Okay, the next we learned about potential energy, that is the energy possessed by an object due to its configuration or position, that is called the potential energy. And this is of two types, elastic potential energy and gravitational potential energy. Then what is gravitational potential energy? The gravitational potential energy at a point above the ground is defined as the work done in raising it from the ground to that point against gravity. That is the gravitational potential energy. Then what is the expression for potential energy or the gravitational potential energy? EP is equal to mgh. EP is equal to mgh. Okay children, study well. That is the end of today's class. Thank you.